Hey y'all, so I'm back. Now, this video is entitled The Top 10 Ways to Tell If She's a Hoe. Now, let me just give you all a bit of an overview about what's been going on. Just recently, I made a video, actually a few days ago, about top 10 ways to tell he's a hoe. Having a lot of people complain um, about it, and apparently it's probably one of the most controversial videos that I've made thus far. I have a lot more to come. But apparently some people have been a little bothered by it. So I don't want people to think it's just a male thing or I'm anti-man and pro-woman. I'm this feminist on here and I'm just dogging all men out or whatever the case. I'm just speaking my mind. That's all I'm doing. Sorry if you got offended, some people, but it's no need to get all upset. It's just how I feel about it. It's my channel. I'm gonna speak how I feel. Not putting anybody's name out there. You don't have to worry about none of that. I'm just saying how I feel about certain situations. So I just wanted to clear that up. I don't want people, you know, all shocked and angry about some previous vids that I did. And the truth be told, this is just for fun, by the way. Like, I just enjoy making, I want to be too serious on all my videos. I like to get loose and, you know, be a little fun sometimes and not be too serious. So that's why I made this one. So let's just cut right into it. So this video is entitled, like I said earlier, Top 10 Ways to Tell If She's a Hoe. Number one, if a woman wears really revealing clothing like on the street, like with her ass out and boobs out and vagina at family settings like at an amusement park or like I said on the street or at a picnic, places that are generally family oriented or where just about anybody can enter or you will see like on the street and she's wearing that type of clothing, but most likely she's a hoe because it's not so much the clothing that makes the woman a hoe. It's where you're wearing it and how you're wearing it. You know what I mean? Like if you're on a photo shoot, it could be tasteful, showing certain body parts more than others. I wouldn't suggest too much, but not even on a photo shoot. But things like photo shoots and of course the bedroom obviously is more appropriate or a bit more appropriate to do those things. But on the street, I'm sorry, you coming off as a hoe. So that's number one. Number two, a woman who says she hates females and only has male friends. Now let's get into this because this has been going on a lot, and a lot of years I've known women who say this. This is not saying all women who say this are hoes. This is basically saying that you are being looked as one. You know what I'm saying? With this particular one, because we don't know how you get down, but you are coming off as somebody who just so against women, but just so all up on men. So that does make you look like a hoe. I know for a fact it probably makes you look like one to men. You know what I'm saying? And to me as well, because it's like, are you against all women? You don't know all women. I mean, what's your problem? So that would probably be any guy. I wouldn't urge you to ignore when a woman says that. I mean, just pay attention. All right. Number three, if this is a big one. If her name and or nickname is something sexual or it's a sexual reference to it, like sweet cakes and Miss Good Good, or of course, names like Superhead. If people are calling you these names, let me tell you a story. Okay, this is a true story. I was hanging with this girl one time. I met her around campus. She seemed pretty cool at first, and she invited me to go to this party. We walking along in a parking lot, just walking to the house. Apparently, we were going for the party. So as we were walking, we passed a group of guys. These group of guys Oh my God, this camera is pissing me off. Anyway, these group of guys was calling this girl Miss Wayside. Now, up here at Central Mount Pleasant, where I go to school, it's a club called The Wayside. Anyway, they was calling her Miss Wayside as she was walking by. This girl apparently didn't have a first name to them. She was just known as Miss Wayside. That let me know right there, like, okay, this girl could possibly be a hoe. And that's not to say if you are in the club, period, you're a hoe. I'm just saying, if you work there or whatever, this doesn't apply to you. But if you just there all the time partying to the point where dudes know you there all the time and they call you by that name, and they said some other things too. I'm not gonna get too but yeah, she was basically a hoe, and yeah, you're a hoe if you're known for anything that has a negative or sexual connotation other than your name, more than you are your actual name. So actual name. Number 4. If you This is a big one. If you always see different men coming in and out of a woman's house, or if she's sneaking out real late at night and she's not going to work, this is a real big one. I know some women, I know some women even back when I was a child who had this tendency of having men in and out of their houses. And they were actually known on the block. Because, neighbors are nosy. You can only do so much before neighbors are just nosy. Particularly where I grew up. Nosy. Anyway, that's a big sign. You got to watch it, because you can basically tell with women who are kind of slutty because they always going out late at night wearing some real revealing clothing, especially if they married pulling this stuff. That's just, yeah, she a hoe. Um, Number 5, this is a big one. And sadly, this is becoming more common, but it is what it is. Number 5, she has no problem sleeping with or dating married men, or even men in relationships. Now, let me just say this. A lot of women out here need to practice vagina restraint. Yes, I said it. Vagina restraint. This means stop sleeping and hanging on to these. Stop giving your vagina on demand, for one. Okay. And definitely stop dating and sleeping with men who are not available to you. Because you only setting yourself up, and you are and you will be looked at and treated as a hoe. Now, if that's what you want, I mean, I can't, but I am advocating this. You cannot blame a guy for treating you a certain way if you present yourself like that. Stop giving your vagina on demand. Stop sleeping with men who are not available to you. I don't care if you loved him or if he's your ex and you can't get over him, he's your baby daddy. If he don't want you, he don't want you. Stop hoeing yourself. Stop. Your vagina can't sway a guy to fall in love with you. That's not the case. Because if it were the case, I'll be doing it and everybody else would be doing it too. So that's getting on my nerves. Stop sleeping with men that are not yours. Because I know you wouldn't want it to happen to you. Stop being a hoe. Number 6. It's a big one. I'm sure this is kind of a no-brainer too. Number 6, she is a mother, and she's a mother, okay, and she hits on like her son's friends, and is really flirty like with her son's friends. Okay, let me get more specific about this one. They call them MILFs. I just call them hoes. It's real disrespectful, for one, to be that way to your child and his friends. I mean, have some damn respect, even if you are a parent. Now, some men not gonna like this, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I've heard from older women personally that typically when a woman who's older like that sleeps with a younger man, it's because her husband, who's around her age, isn't putting it down the way he used to, apparently. And apparently that's what's being said. A lot of times men who get a certain age obviously are not that good in bed. So these women kind of go out, and get younger women. I'm sorry, get younger men to obviously take care of some business that need to be taken care of. I'm sure some people knew that, but I just I just wanted to say that. But I'm sorry, are you a hoe if you just throwing your vagina at your sons or anybody who's young enough to be your son? Just all in his face. I just believe in self control. You, even if you are horny or you probably not getting it, I believe in having some type of self respect and restraint. Like you don't want to just throw yourself at somebody like that, especially somebody who's that much younger and who knows your son or who is your son's age, and it's just not a good look. I mean, you just coming off as a whole. Be more discreet about it. I'm not encouraging infidelity, but I'm saying if you're going to do that, be more discreet and make sure it's probably with somebody who doesn't have any ties to your family. I don't know. So yeah, that's a hoe. Number 7. This is kind of like the last one I did. She always in the club. Um, she's always in the club, but she's always known for being in the club. Kind of goes back to the story I told you guys about Miss Wayside. Yes, and she's not working there. So typically women have a bad rep if you're always in the club. So she's probably a whole, she's all, I mean, like every week, every weekend, always in the club. Number 8, this is a big one. Um, All-Star Weekend, apparently. They always have, or they trying to get backstage passes for entertainers, or trying to get through security to, I don't know, the locker rooms of the athletes. It's a big flag. Fortunately, it's a lot of women who are like that, of course, trying to get pregnant to get, the money and all that good stuff. But they hoes. I mean, come on. Don't be like that. Number 9. If your cousin, brother, friend, or someone else really close to you is sleeping with her and she's sleeping with you too. Okay, this is a big one. Now, this doesn't go for the women who, let's say you got a pass and you hooked up with a guy and later on in the future you date a guy and come to find out he's related to one of the guys that you used to hook up with. This doesn't apply to you. This applies to women who purposely sleep with a man's brother, or even if it's just out of revenge. Just walk away. Don't because it's hard for a woman to live that kind of thing down, particularly depending on your environment or who all you hang around. People not gonna let you live something like that down easily. If you sleep with someone's brother or friend or cousin and you slept with the guy too, or you were with the guy, like that was your boyfriend and you slept with his brother or cousin or friend or something like that, you're a hoe. Especially if you knew it. I mean, if you didn't know it, that's okay, but if you knew it, you a hoe. Number 10. Um, of course, this is a big one. If she has a bunch of baby daddies, and she doesn't know who the daddy is for any of them, or even if she does, I think it's a bad look if a woman has multiple baby fathers anyway. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But especially if you don't know who the daddies are. I mean, that's pretty much a given. It's sad. Why are you letting dudes just release in you like that? Why are you just and letting dudes just hit you raw like that? Like, anyway, I'm not even gonna talk too much about that. But yeah, that's the 10 top ways you know she's a hoe. Take it, leave it, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Okay, because I want to know. Let me check the time. Okay, I gotta hurry up. Yeah. So let me know what you think. I did the male hoes. I did the female hoes. I know some females will have a problem with what I said. It's just the way it is. But yeah, still, I really appreciate you guys' comments. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, or message me. And that's all I have to say. All right. Thanks. Bye.